Right now at 5, the National Weather Service confirms a small tornado touched down in Taney County, Missouri on Monday.
We've got a few showers, a couple of thunderstorms out there this morning, and then the thunderstorm chances ramp up later this evening. We'll have the latest on that forecast coming up.
Plus, what a line for the new Whataburger in Joplin, but neighborhood residents hope this is just a temporary inconvenience.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Well, good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News. It's 5 a.m. I'm Elise Noe.
I'm Chris Warner. So we unfortunately have seen our severe threat increase for tonight across the area. I know yesterday we had that low end risk into southeastern Kansas. Unfortunately, there's been some changes, and we do have a slightly higher severe threat as we head into the overnight hours. We also have some showers and thunderstorms out there this morning that are a bit of a little weather mystery for me this morning. So the computer model data, we've talked about this before, but there's a lot of things we look at to do forecasting. None of them have picked up on the storms that are out there now. So none of them show them doing anything at this point. So let's talk about what we're looking at and what we think is going to happen with this batch of showers and storms, starting with a look outside from our camera. On top of the Cornell Complex, downtown Joplin, we had our camera at 7th and Range Line pointed almost due west. It's kind of west-southwest, and you could actually see the lightning from these thunderstorms. And these storms are 112 miles away, and our camera at 7th and Range Line could see the lightning. So they're not severe, nor are they expected to be, but it's difficult at this point to say exactly what they're going to do. MoDOT camera 20th in Range Line, also looking pretty good this morning. So here's the radar, and here's a look at these storms. So we've got this batch of some showers that'll be rolling into parts of southeastern Kansas. This is the lightning we've been seeing from our camera at 7th and Range Line. And take a look at this. Look how far west of Bartlesville it is. And then we've got this complex of thunderstorms back behind all of that, just to the west of the 35 corridor. A lot more electrical, a lot more activity. Again, no severe weather from these storms, nor are we anticipating any. But the computer model data wasn't picking up on any of this activity either. So we're going to have to keep an eye on it and just see how soggy it's going to make our commute and how far to the east it can survive. If it survives, been doing some tracks on it at the speed it's moving, which is roughly 20 to 30 miles an hour. It'll have it out of our area by noon. If it survives, it could dissipate and fall apart in southeast Kansas. So we'll monitor those storms for you. Again, they're not expected to be severe. That problem is going to come later tonight. Temperatures a little bit on the cool side this morning, a little cooler than yesterday. We got mid-upper 50s across the area. A quick look at the bus stop forecast. We are looking at 55. Again, depending on those storms, maybe a scattered storm or two, calm winds. Bus brings them home much warmer, partly cloudy, 78. East breeze at about 5 to 10. Highs today much warmer, upper 70s, partly cloudy skies out there. And then, as I mentioned tonight, thunderstorm chances begin to increase. We'll take a full look at your forecast here in just a few more minutes. Elise?
Thanks, Chris. Well, no one is seriously hurt following the crash of a high school team bus last night in southwest Missouri. The school bus was carrying the Mount Vernon, Missouri baseball team when it crashed around 8:30 last night in Newton County. The Highway Patrol tells us the driver experienced a medical emergency on Missouri Highway 43 south of Petro. Investigators say the bus was traveling at highway speed, went off the road, and hit a culvert. One student was taken to a Joplin hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. The bus driver was taken to a hospital by private vehicle. Newton County Ambulance and Sheriff's Department and the Reddingsville Fire Department all responded. The U.S. National Weather Service confirms a tornado touchdown outside of Branson. You're looking at video of that tornado that touched down briefly Monday at Paynes Valley Golf Course southeast of Hollister, Missouri. The National Weather Service says this was an EF0 tornado with peak winds of up to 70 miles per hour. A storm survey found some broken branches and a few snapped trees, but no reports of damage to homes or power lines. There were also no reported injuries. Everyone who was reported missing after a tornado that swept through Barnsdall, Oklahoma on May 6th has now been accounted for. A body recovered this weekend from Bird Creek, several miles south of Barnsdall, has been identified as that of 81-year-old Wayne Hogue was reported missing from his home after the EF4 tornado struck his house and others in Barnsdall. The Osage County Sheriff's Office extended its thanks to everyone who assisted in the search efforts. If you're ever on the go and want to still be able to watch our newscast live, just download the KOAM Plus app. It's available free of charge on the App Store of your choice. Just search for KOAM Plus. Voters in Bourbon County, Kansas yesterday passed a plan to help establish and operate a new emergency department in the county. It comes after Ascension Via Christi closed its ER in Fort Scott late last year. It implements a new quarter-cent retail sales tax to fund the proposal. That tax will take effect on October 1st and remain in effect for 5 years. It's National Police Week, so the Jasper County Sheriff's Office took time to honor fallen law enforcement officers. The ceremony at the county courthouse in Carthage recognized the brave men and women who were killed in the line of duty while serving Jasper County. Local officials, law enforcement members, and community leaders all paid their respects. A state audit of Joplin's financial records continues despite high marks on a separate audit. The ongoing state audit is the one that was prompted by a citizen's petition last November. And the award is for a separate annual audit by an independent auditor that's required by city charter. For 33 years, the Government Finance Officers Association awarded the city of Joplin with a certificate of excellence in financial reporting. The city says the goal of the independent audit is to provide reassurance and transparency to citizens.
People understand, number one, that our financial information is being audited by outside independent people. It's also being reviewed by outside independent agencies to make sure that that our audit and our financial statements meet the standards that are set for government.
Again, the audit demanded by the petition is still underway. The state auditor's office has told us previously that audit was to begin in February. We reached out to the office yesterday to get an update, and we have not yet received a response. The new Whataburger in Joplin opened its drive-thru this week, and it's causing some traffic issues. To avoid traffic on Range Line, the drive-thru line is currently being directed to the neighborhood behind the restaurant. According to Whataburger, this is a temporary solution, and once the traffic slows down, it will be moved to Range Line. While most residents KOAM spoke to said the extra traffic doesn't bother them, some shared concerns.
It doesn't bother me. I'm sure it bothers some of our other neighbors where their driveways are blocked, but our driveway isn't blocked so we can get it in and out, so it doesn't bother us.
Whataburger always reaches out to the community before we open a restaurant, and we talked to the Joplin Police Department, and we had to make a decision as to what the best traffic pattern would be so that we could not hinder traffic.
The Joplin Police Department says Whataburger hired off-duty officers to work an extra duty assignment at their location, and part of their duties is to oversee traffic congestion. According to the police department, their patrol and traffic divisions may assist if needed. Currently, the restaurant only offers the drive-thru option, and dining room and curbside service will follow in a couple of weeks. And that's a look at this morning's top stories and weather in our first 7 minutes. Coming up on the KOAM Morning News. Was regional championship night for high school baseball and softball teams in southeast Kansas. We'll have the details. Plus, the Secretary of State Antony Blinken is caught rocking out in Ukraine. And rain chances continue. We'll have what to expect with Chris Warner in the Skywatch Weather Center. You're watching the KOAM Morning News. We'll be right back.
It's a jam-packed night for high school softball and baseball across the 4 states. Dozens of our local teams have their season on the line in regional and district semifinals. We're going to start with the Class 1 softball quarterfinals between Liberal and Ash Grove. Winner advances to the Final Four in Columbia. Bottom of the first, Chelsea Graham smacks a pitch to deep center, and it's gone for a 2-run home run. Ash Grove jumps out to an early lead, but Liberal responds, down 3-0 in the fourth. Bases loaded, and the freshman Sadie Meadows hits one to straightaway center field. It drops down, 2-run score. Bulldogs try to get the tying run across the plate, but Laney Simpson is called out. Liberal with another bases-loaded chance in the final inning, down 4-2. Jordan Goodell skies one to right field. Catch made there. Throw gets to the plate in plenty of time to get the lead runner from third. That's a double play. Bulldogs down to their final out. Ash Grove pitcher Megan Hawkins catches the infield pop-up to end it. She throws a complete game and gets the win. Liberal season ends in the state quarterfinals. Bulldogs fall to the Pirates 4-2. In Diamond, the Wildcats looking to continue their postseason run as they host quarterfinals against Forsyth. Excuse me. Bottom of the third, Caitlin Surrey hammers this ball over the left field fence, and it's gone for a 2-run homer. Diamond is on top 2-0. So we're going to head to the fourth inning. And the starting pitcher, Taylon Reeder, helps her own cause as she hits a deep fly ball that clears the fence for a solo home run. Wildcats offense starts to heat up. Diamond leads 3-1. To the fifth inning, Taylon Daniels crushes one to center field. And the home run derby continues. Another solo home run, and the Wildcats extend their lead 4-1. And the rally continues going into the fifth inning. Diamond can win this game on a run rule. Taylon Daniels stays hot as she singles to left field, and the ball gets by the outfielder, and that will do it. Diamond is headed to the state tournament for the third time in the past 4 seasons. Wildcats beat Forsyth 11-1.
I'm so proud of my girls. Very satisfying, but very hungry. They have a job that they have left unfinished, so let's go get it. I think it just kind of shows back to our theme, iron sharpens iron, and also just the dedication these girls have, and they're hungry and they're fighters, and it just has a lot to do with their work ethic.
Now to Kansas in Class 2-1A. Colgan in Class 2-1A. Colgan softball is regional champion. Panthers are heading to state after winning 2 games last night. They take down top-seeded Jayhawk Lynn 4-0 in the semis, and then beat 3-seed Northeast 7-4 in the championship. In 4A, Independence falls 1 game short of making a trip to state. The Lady Bulldogs beat Chanute in the semis, but fall 3-0 to the top seed Wamego in the finals. Elsewhere in 4A, Fort Scott is heading to state. Lady Tigers are regional champions. They win the title game 10-0 over El Dorado in just 5 innings. Very busy night for high school baseball in the 4 states as well. Several of our local schools play in regional or district championships trying to advance to state. Starting in Missouri, Aurora wins the Class 4 District 11 championship game over Mount Vernon. The Hound Dogs punch their ticket to sectionals with a 14-11 win. Elsewhere, Lamar dominates its district title game. Tigers take down top seed Stockton 16-5. They are on the sectionals as well. Going back to Kansas, Class 3A Frontenac baseball is headed to state. The Raiders take down 1 seed Riverton 7-4 in the championship. They also had to rally from a 5-0 deficit to beat Baxter Springs in the semifinals. Then in another 3A regional championship, Humboldt baseball has its season come to an end. The Cubs fall to the 2 seed Burlington 11-5. They finished the season with a record of 19-5. Well, still to come, in a few years, people may have something new to worry about as they age. Plus, I'm going to check that forecast when we come back.
At Aaron Sachs & Associates, our word is our bond.
Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News. Just taking a look at these thunderstorms out to our west. So these ones are beginning to fall apart. Remember earlier there was a lot more lightning activity with this cell down into parts of Oklahoma and into Chautauqua County. It's beginning to fizzle out, but when the lightning was going, again, our camera at 7th and range line could see that lightning 112 miles away. And then we're watching these thunderstorms that are lining up along I-35 just to the west of Wichita. As again, the computer model data we use for forecasting wasn't really picking up on any of this. And so that's just, it's been a long time since the computers have had some difficulty with storms. So again, not expected to be strong or severe this morning, but we've got to see if they hold together. If they do, then we'll have a few scattered showers and storms rolling through the area through the morning. If they do begin to die out before they even make it to our viewing area, then we'll simply be partly cloudy through the morning. So we'll keep an eye on it for you. Unfortunately, while these storms this morning aren't a problem, the storms we see later this evening and into the overnight could could be. We now have a low to elevated tornado risk, primarily in southeastern Kansas, far northeastern Oklahoma, out to the west. We have a low to elevated hail threat. Again, mainly in the southeast Kansas, northeast Oklahoma. And then we do have an enhanced wind risk. So most of us in that low to elevated zone, but we do have an enhanced risk into parts of Chautauqua County, Montgomery County, and those hash marks indicating the possibility of winds 70 to 80 miles an hour with some of these storms. So what's that going to look like? I'm going to break it down for you. So again, here's today's low elevated enhanced risk across the area. Tomorrow at this time, we have a low risk for strong to low grade severe thunderstorms across the entire area, and the primary concerns there are going to be wind and hail. Friday, we don't have any severe areas highlighted at this point, which is great news, but we are expecting more scattered storms on Friday. So let's look down the road, future track. So again, this is some of the model data we're looking at. By noon, it's showing just a couple of showers. That may end up being the case. These things may die out before they ever get here. If that's the case, we're going to be partly cloudy through most of the day. We're going to be warmer, upper 70s, even some low 80s out there. And then clouds will increase this evening, and by about 8, 9 o'clock, complex of thunderstorms starts to roll into our western counties, and that will continue to advance off to the east. So here we are at midnight tomorrow. And you can see more showers and thunderstorms. By 5 a.m. on Thursday, more scattered showers and storms. Some of those could be strong, low-grade severe. And then we'll have scattered storms throughout the day on Thursday. So as you can see, they'll be scattered. It won't be rain everywhere all at once. But the storms that we do see throughout the day on Thursday could be strong to low-grade severe. So a lot to keep an eye on. Quick look at temperatures. 56 in Joplin right now, and we're clear overhead. Just a few clouds out there. Temperatures a little cooler this morning. Most of us in the mid to upper 50s. Stockton, though, a little warmer, up to 60. So through the morning for now, just based on the latest radar trends, I've gone ahead and left a few isolated storms through the 8, maybe 9 o'clock hour, then partly cloudy skies after that. 70 by 11. Again, highs today, upper 70s, low 80s. We'll have those storms roll in after 8 tonight, on scattered storms Thursday and Friday. Our weekend still looking good, warm, sunny, more thunderstorm chances by next week, and staying very mild into the low to mid 80s. That's Check Your Forecast. We're back with Health Watch right after this.
Topping Health Watch this morning. In a few years, people may have something new to worry about as they age: heat. A new study says by 2050, more than a fifth of the Earth's population will be over 60 years old. At the same time, climate change is making the planet warmer. That's a problem because older people are at higher risk for health problems when exposed to acute and chronic heat. People sweat less effectively as they age, and their instincts to drink water also drop. The number of people at risk worldwide from extreme heat is said to at least double over the next 25 years. It's an even bigger issue in Europe, where the population is aging more quickly and the climate is heating up faster than the planet's average. There was an extra special homecoming party for an Illinois family. After spending months growing, a severely premature baby finally gets to leave the hospital and live with her parents. Michelle Gallardo reports.
Nearly 6 months after her miracle birth, baby Nyla finally went home today. A huge send-off party at Silver Cross Hospital in New Lenox gathered dozens of elated staff, family, and friends. Nyla Nation is what they call themselves.
We have so many family, friends who are so excited, and they prayed for us and took care of us, and everyone's ready to celebrate this little one for sure.
Nyla Brooke Haywood is the youngest baby ever born at Silver Cross Hospital, delivered at just 22 weeks after her mother Nakia was diagnosed with preeclampsia.
It was a very scary time. I'm not gonna lie, it was very scary.
Nyla is what is known as a micropreemie. The odds were stacked against her. With only a 10% survival rate, doctors went into the delivery room prepared for the worst.
She cried at birth, which is a little whimper, but it was a cry. Her heart rate always remained over 100, which for us, that's where we want it to be. So she came out fighting right off the bat.
But that was just the beginning. A team of up to 15 people was dedicated to Nyla during those first minutes and days.
Nyla's eyes were still fused. Her tiny lungs were very underdeveloped, and her skin was thin and translucent.
And then there was the matter of her size. At birth, Nyla weighed 1 pound, 1 ounce. Fast forward to today, she's now a healthy 10 pounds.
I just don't have the words, in all honesty. We're just super grateful that she's here, she's healthy, and she's doing amazing.
Nyla does have some residual scarring on her lungs, so she is being sent home with oxygen, and she will require regular checkups to watch out for complications that sometimes arise with micropreemies. But as of right now, doctors say Nyla's future looks bright. That's a look at some of today's top health stories. You're watching the KOAM Morning News.
Well, we've got a few clouds out there across Joplin as the sun rises. Few scattered showers and storms to our west we're keeping our eye on. No severe weather expected, but could make for a soggy commute. The latest when we come back.
Heritage Tractor is here for you.
Right now at 5:30, Freeman celebrates future leaders with 8 graduates of its Freeman Aspiring Leader program.
Showers, maybe a couple of storms possible this morning ahead of greater thunderstorm chances later this evening. We'll have a look at that forecast to get you out the door coming up.
Plus, the city of Joplin brings a unique concert experience to the community this month.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News. It's 5:31. I'm Elise Noe.
And I'm Chris Warner. So we've got a couple of showers and thunderstorms out there this morning. None of these are strong or severe. But the complication here is our computer model data, the forecasting data, didn't really pick up on these storms either. So it's kind of a guessing game as to exactly what they're going to do next. However, we do have a greater severe threat as we head into the overnight hours tonight, unfortunately. We are still in severe weather season.
Yes,
so,
yes, we are.
It was an expectation with thunderstorm chances. But let's start with getting you out the door and a look at the Skywatch Storm Tracker. And we'll show you these showers and storms we're talking about this morning. You can see the ones that were out just inching into our far western counties, just west of Bartlesville. Those have begun to die out. However, we've got a few more thunderstorms back behind them, paralleling the I-35 corridor back down into north central Oklahoma. So here's the thing, is if we put this radar into motion, some of these, you see where these begin to die out, and these are almost hitting a brick wall right along I-35. So even though some of the data didn't pick up on them, there's a chance they may die out before they get too much further east. But again, the good news, at least, if we do see these persist, first off, they'd be out of here, should be out of here before noon. They're very likely going to dissipate and die out over southeastern Kansas. But the better news is these aren't expected to be strong or severe if we even see them this morning. Temperatures around the area a bit on the cool side, mid to upper 50s for most of us, save Stockton, who's sitting up at 60. So kids getting on the bus, I've gone ahead and put out that possibility of an isolated shower or storm this morning. Otherwise, partly to mostly cloudy, 55 and a calm breeze. When that bus brings them home, partly cloudy skies, dry, 78, east winds 5 to 10. So again, I'm thinking maybe a stray shower or storm through about 9, 10 o'clock this morning. It's a low possibility, but it's there. Otherwise, partly cloudy through the majority of the day and warmer as we go into the upper 70s and low 80s. But again, we do have strong to severe thunderstorms returning to our forecast tonight. We'll look at the details on that in the full forecast here in a few more minutes. Elise?
All right, we'll see you soon, Chris. Well, Freeman celebrated future leaders yesterday with 8 graduates of its Freeman Aspiring Leader program. The program allows accepted Freeman applicants to learn and pursue leadership roles with Freeman. Each applicant had to come up with a project and then develop and research all areas of implementing it. The applicants wrapped up their projects with a 20-minute presentation to the other participants, supervisors, and leaders.
Of how many different pieces it takes, the overwhelming responsibility for the clinicians, the doctors and nurses providing care, but then the amount of support staff from technology, HR, office staff, just everything. It is amazing, all of the pieces that are required to keep a health system operating.
The Freeman Aspiring Leader program ran 8 months from September of last year to yesterday. The Joplin Regional Community Foundation yesterday donated $130,000 to 3 area nonprofits. The money comes through the foundation's Philanthropic Society. The Joplin Police Department, Creative Learning Alliance, and Watered Gardens each get at least $30,000. The JRCF says grants like this are all a part of its mission.
Why we exist, we're here to make the community better and help our nonprofits. We have about 65 nonprofits that have funds with us. We have a total of about 160 funds. Some of those are donor-advised funds and other types, but these agency partners that we have, the nonprofits, are very important to us, and it's very important to us to try to help them.
Since the first grants in 2019, the Philanthropic Society has awarded more than $1.1 million to nonprofits serving Joplin, Webb City, and Carl Junction. The city of Joplin brings a unique concert experience to the community this month. The concert truck is a 16-foot box truck that transforms into a sort of mobile concert hall capable of bringing a musical experience anywhere in the community. Teaching artists Susan Zhang and Gabrielle Chow will perform 7 times in 5 days and will bring their own special love of music to the concert truck stage.
Expect a lot of really fun, charming, profound and beautiful music from the classical canon. We usually do a little bit of genre bending, not so much this week, but sometimes we might reach a little bit outside of classical.
The concert truck series begins later today and wraps up on Sunday. For a full schedule of performances and locations, just head over to our website, KOAMnewsnow.com. The city of Carthage brought history to life yesterday with the Great Americans Day. The roughly 6-hour event provided a field trip for hundreds of kids to learn about various historical figures brought to life by volunteers from the Carthage community.
Very important, visual learning, and I was a very visual student myself, and it just does help the children to see the character and to listen to the stories that they are telling them of their life, and it comes to life to them.
Due to weather concerns, the event was moved from the Central Park over to the Fairview Christian Church. Well, Pitt State is almost set to begin construction on its new soccer pitch. The all-turf pitch will be built on the field between the Weed Gymnasium and the University Lake by the Gorilla Walk path. It will be built in phases, starting with the turf and equipment. Then future additions will include a press box, lighting, fencing, and seating. Officials expect it to be ready in time for the start of the women's team first regular season game this fall. They will host 9 home games in the first season. That's a look at some of our top news stories coming up this half hour on the KOAM Morning News. Trucks with humanitarian aid heading for the Gaza Strip were targeted allegedly by Israeli settlers. Plus, millions of Ukrainians have fled the country, leaving behind an estimated 100,000 pets. We'll have the latest. You're watching the KOAM Morning News. Topping World Watch, a massive manhunt is underway for a high-profile inmate who escaped after gunmen ambushed a police van in France. French police says several suspects opened fire on the SUV to free a drug dealer known as The Fly as he was being transported from a court hearing in Normandy. 2 prison guards were killed and 3 officers were injured. French authorities have launched a manhunt for the inmate Mohamed Amra, a 30-year-old drug dealer from northern France, and the attackers. Multiple trucks with humanitarian aid heading for the Gaza Strip were targeted allegedly by Israeli settlers. Video shows at least 2 trucks damaged and aid packages on the side of the road. The head of the commercial transportation sector in the West Bank says the trucks leaving before 7 a.m. passed through the Gaza border, but after 7, the settlers closed the road and attacked the trucks. No food has been brought into southern Gaza in the last week, as over 1 million Palestinians deal with extreme levels of hunger, and those in the north face a full-blown famine, according to the UN. The Secretary of State is caught rocking out in Ukraine. Antony Blinken visiting a basement bar in Kiev yesterday to take in a performance by the rock group 1999. Blinken then strapping on a red electric guitar and joining the group for a rousing rendition of the Neil Young classic Keep On Rockin' in the Free World, a song that was released around the time the Soviet Union fell. Blinken arrived yesterday morning to Ukraine. He is the first senior U.S. official to travel to the country after Congress passed a $61 billion military aid package last month. Ever since fighting broke out in Ukraine in February 2022, millions of Ukrainians have fled the country, leaving behind an estimated 100,000 pets, along with countless zoo and farm animals and other wildlife. A new documentary highlights the brave efforts to get these animals to safety as the fighting continues. Matt Finn reports.
Since the start of the war in Ukraine, nearly 6.5 million Ukrainian refugees have fled the war-torn country. When the fighting broke out more than 2 years ago, people left with whatever they could carry.
Maybe they just grabbed the bag, grabbed, in some cases, their pet or their immediate possessions.
Still, many were unable to take their animals with them. House pets, zoo animals, and wildlife were abandoned and left to fend for themselves as bombs dropped around them. Nature, Saving the Animals of Ukraine, a new documentary airing on PBS, explores the effects of war on wildlife and the extraordinary lengths humans are willing to go to save them.
I was amazed about that those people, they were literally risking their own lives in order to save animals.
Documentary director Anton Patushkin spent time on the front lines as ordinary Ukrainians pulled off some remarkable rescues, including a cat discovered trapped in a ravaged apartment building 9 weeks after the attack started.
I spotted something moving, like a tail waving from the 7th floor.
The film, a unique look at the toll violence has on animals.
A lot of animals, they have been killed. Some animals have PTSD symptoms.
On the other hand, it highlights their resilience despite the horrors of war. A 10-pound Jack Russell Terrier, Patron, has a newfound purpose as a bomb-sniffing dog.
Patron's compact frame removes the constant threat of detonation.
As the war rages on, there's no true way to measure the toll of animals, but Patushkin says unsung heroes in the battle zone are doing everything they can to reduce suffering.
We've been blown away by the bravery of people who have been saving animals. It gives me some light of hope. You start to believe in people again.
The documentary director was so inspired, he made a promise with some of the rescuers to adopt a cat.
And that's a look at some of your biggest headlines from around the world. We'll be right back.
Summer's here, and with a new Toyota, you can capture all the
equal opportunity employer.
Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News. It's 5:46 now on this Wednesday morning. Got a few isolated showers out there in parts of southeast Kansas. Keeping an eye on these thunderstorms out to the west as they slowly drag to the east, as right along the I-35 corridor. Again, the computer model data did not pick up on these storms, so it is difficult to say exactly what they're going to do. And perhaps the most elementary and most valuable statement in science is, I do not know. And at this point, I do not know exactly what this activity is going to do because it's not been picked up by the model data. It looks as though it may clip some of our western counties, but I think it's going to follow the same path as this activity and start to fizzle out in our far western counties. Whatever it does, the good news is it's not expected to be strong or severe. Unfortunately, that will change as we go later tonight. We do have a low to elevated tornado threat in parts of southeastern Kansas and northeastern Oklahoma. Then we have a low to elevated hail threat across again Kansas and Oklahoma. And we do have a low elevated and enhanced wind risk, and this covers a much broader area. And we do have some little hash marks here, especially in the Chautauqua County, for the possibility of winds 70 to 80 miles an hour. So we'll keep an eye on those storms tonight. We're going to talk about those in a moment. As we head into tomorrow, we have a low wind risk for some strong to low grade severe thunderstorms across the area. We're expecting scattered storms, so not rain everywhere all at once, but the storms we see could produce some large hail and perhaps some damaging wind gusts. And then at this point, we don't have any severe areas highlighted on Friday, but we are still watching that possibility of some more scattered thunderstorms. So let's take a look down the road. Future track, again, this is what it's suggesting, is these showers and storms out to our west are going to be dead at noon, probably prior to noon. And then after that, we are partly cloudy. We are warmer today, upper 70s, low 80s out there. Later this evening, clouds begin to increase, and by about 8, 9 o'clock, we get this complex of thunderstorms rolling into the area. And as it pushes to the east, it could be strong, potentially severe, as we showed you with those risk areas. And we'll have ongoing thunderstorms. That's midnight. Here we are at 5 a.m., another round of thunderstorms. And again, these could be strong, low-grade, severe. Then as we persist through the day on Thursday, again, the storms will become more scattered, but the ones that we see could be strong, potentially severe out there, and that will continue into our Friday. Quick look outside in Joplin, mostly clear skies, 58. East-northeast breeze at 3. And again, temperatures around the region a little cooler this morning. You can see these lighter colors just kind of right over our area. We're in the mid-upper 50s. And again, Stockton, on the edge of this, they're sitting at 60 right now this morning as the warm spot. So again, monitoring those storms out west, I've gone ahead and we're going to keep an eye on the possibility of a few thunderstorms maybe through about 9 o'clock this morning. And it'll be partly cloudy after that and 70 degrees. And again, highs today pushing into the upper 70s, low 80s. Scattered storms tomorrow and Friday. While hanging out in the 70s, our weekend at this point still looking pretty good. Sunny skies, temperatures warm, upper 70s, low 80s. And we'll start hanging out in the low to mid 80s next week, but as you can see, we also have thunderstorm chances every day next week as well. Let's check your forecast. We're back with more right after this.
A night for humanity. Energy, active mind, and immune support. Helping dogs, dog healthy.
A hilarious and heartwarming photography contest that puts animals' comedic chops front and center has just revealed its cream of the crop entries just in time for the final rounds of voting. Jeremy Roth has a sneak peek in today's Take a Look at This.
Take a look at this and try not to smile while you do. These fabulous and funny furry friend photos are some of the finalists in the running for the top prize in the 2024 Comedy Pet Photography Awards. Nearly 36 images submitted from around the world have made the short list in the annual competition, which organizers call a treat of happy, positive, and feel-good nonsense. It's not all a laughing matter. The competition aims to promote engagement of animal welfare while celebrating the vital roles animals play in our lives. There's a little of everything to tickle your photo funny bone, like pet and owner lookalikes, a kitty cat crammed in a crack, a high-kicking kung fu canine, and a headless horse, which is just an illusion, of course. The cream of the Animal Kingdom comedy crop will be judged on both their photographic and comedic qualities, and an overall winner will be announced on June 6th, along with a separate People's Choice Award winner, which anyone can vote for right now at comedypetphoto.com. Hope you're ready for your close-up, New Yorkers, because a new candid camera art installation is offering a live window look at the other side of the pond. The interactive piece, called The Portal, offers a 24/7 live stream connected to another portal in Dublin, Ireland, giving visitors on either end a chance to interact and connect in real time. The artists behind the portals say they offer a chance to meet people above borders and differences and to experience our world as it really is, united and one. For Take a Look at This, I'm Jeremy Roth.
Certainly can't wait to see who wins that pet photo contest. Stick around, we'll be right back.
Trust your loved one's banner. Go to joplinmemorialrun.com/banners.
A Jeopardy! Pop culture spinoff is officially on its way. Amazon's Prime Video announced on Tuesday that the upcoming show called Pop Culture Jeopardy! Will be coming to its platform. Contestants will compete in teams of 3 and answer questions centered around music, film, TV, and more. Jeopardy! Previously had a sports spinoff from 2014 to 2016. A premiere date for the upcoming show has not been announced yet, but it will be available on Prime Video in more than 240 countries. And it's time to brighten someone's day. That's because today is National Bring Flowers to Someone Day. You can send flowers to a family member, friend, secret crush, or even to yourself. You can express self-love, appreciation, sympathy, and apology, or just because. Pick them from your own garden or buy them from a local flower shop or online. Other ways to celebrate the day: attend a flower arrangement class or plant a flower garden. You can share your flowers to the hashtag Bring Flowers to Someone Day.
Today, probably a good day to bring somebody some flowers out there as we head into the afternoon. Not going to be too bad. Again, watching a complex of storms to our west could bring us some scattered or isolated storms through, I'd say, about 9 a.m., maybe 10 at the latest. Otherwise, we're partly cloudy and about 70 by 11 o'clock this morning. Highs today, upper 70s, low 80s out there, partly cloudy skies, and an easterly breeze at about 5 to 10 miles an hour. Then about 8, 9 o'clock tonight, thunderstorms begin to increase out there, and some of those could be strong, potentially severe. All hazards are possible, but the greater concern really is with wind and significant damaging wind in some instances with the storms late tonight into the overnight hours. So we'll keep a close eye on that for you. We'll fall back to about 62. We're going to be upper 70s again tomorrow. More scattered thunderstorms, not rain all day everywhere, but the storms we see also carry a risk to be strong, potentially severe, with large hail and damaging wind gusts being the primary concern at this point. Scattered thunderstorms again on our Friday. No severe threat highlighted with the Friday storms, but we'll keep an eye on them for you, of course. Our weekend at this point still looking pretty good. Upper 70s, low 80s, and sunny skies. Next week, we are much warmer each day, hanging out in the mid 80s. And we've also got thunderstorm chances each day next week as well. Let's check your forecast. We'll be back with more right after this.
Stream